In our yesterday's session, we had discussed about how a POM file will looks like. Okay, so POM stands for a Project Object Model, which is the basic unit in the Maven. So here the POM will specify all the informations about the projects. Okay, the configuration details, what to do. Please wait a 1 minute, please. Sir, good morning, sir. சார் சொல்லுங்க சார். குட் மார்னிங். சொல்லுங்க சார். So here yesterday's discussion we are dealing with this form project object model. Here it contains the full description about the project. Okay, the name of the project, how a project will be identified. The project will be identified using the following thing. Will be giving a GAV format that we have discussed. GAV stands for group ID, artifact ID. This is the format, GAV format. Okay, so here each and every project, what we will do, we want to specify a phase. Okay, so these are all the three things. What is the plugin? And the plugin is identified by the following thing, and then when to use the plugin. So the plugin in this case is used in this compile stage. After the successful completion of the compile stage, it will call this goal. Okay, the run is the goal. What to run? So when it encounters this goal, it will immediately move into the plugin and it will start its execution. Here under the execution, we want to specify what to do. Okay, so here the executions will invoke this configuration. So what are all the configuration related thing that we need to go for the plugin need to be specified here. Okay, we can have the executions. Under execution, you can have multiple execution. Okay, the execution phase alone will let us know what to do with the plugin. So this is what that we have discussed in our yesterday's session. Okay, so here for each and every project, this POM file is a mandatory one. Without this POM file, nothing can happen. Okay, without this POM file, nothing can happen. Will have all the details. Okay, now you can find that this POM file contains the following information. Okay, so this configuration, what we need to do with this configuration? போயிட்டு எப்போதான் வர சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, வீட்டில் முந்திக்கல இருக்கா பிடிச்சு வர சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. போனான்னு சொன்னா அதுக்கு மாதிரி சொல்லி செஞ்சிருப்பாங்க. Okay, these are all the information that we need to specify. Okay, now what today's discussion, what we are going to do, we are going to do the practical session. So how to create a plugin, what are all the architecture that is associated. Okay, so where to use and what exactly the plugin has to do in its configuration, everything we can specify multiple executions. So under configuration, we need to specify the configuration information. For example, so if we are going to configure Apache web server, the Apache web server, okay, the plugin that want to do web services. So in this case, whenever we call this plugin run, and according to the what we have specified in the configuration, that information will be configured. Okay, so in terms of hardware, that information will be configured. So these are all the basic stuff associated. Once you have a clear understanding, okay, once you have a example execution, you have a clear understanding what we are going to do. Okay, now we are okay. If you have any question, please raise me. In this case, is it clear for you? Yeah, this is the syntax of any plugin, whether it is a built-in plugin or whether it is a user-defined plugin, will have the following syntax. Okay, so while we are going through, we will have a clear understanding. Now we move on to the following thing: how to define a plugin, how you can get a plugin. For example, in this case, if I am going for some plugin, which plugin that I am in need of, okay, for doing a particular task, that we are going to discuss how to look into the plugin. So, if okay, each and every plugin you can Maven will maintain a repository. So, if you go and click the Maven plugins, it will give you all the available plugins. So these are all the plugins currently. Yesterday we have gone through these plugins. These are all the default plugins that we have discussed so far. Okay, so these are all the default plugins that we have discussed: clean, compiler, deploy, install. Okay, each and every plugin will have the following description and the release date, the associated version. Okay, so these are all the things associated with. So if you want to find the structure of the plugin, how what structure of the plugin, what the plugin is going to do. Okay, so here according to our requirement, you want to choose the plugin requirement. Okay, so you need to know which plugin that you want to use according to your requirement. So let me take one example here. Okay, so here let me take this following example. So imagine that we have working with a particular project for 5 to 6 years. So nowadays we have this Maven tool, the most popular tool. So if in the olden days we have a tool called as ANT, A-N-T, ANT. You may have heard about this tool, ANT. Okay, the people earlier days used ANT as a build tools. So here we are going to make use of Maven. Then we imagine that we are running our project for the past 3 to 5 years. Okay. Here in this case, we make use of an build tool, but we want to now using. We are interested in using Maven also because Maven has a lot of features, new features, which Ant doesn't provide. So in this regard, if we want to move all the coding associated with the Ant into the coding, which is more or less similar to that of the migration. If you want to migrate the code which we have developed in Ant with the Maven, then here for that Maven has given a plugin. Okay, for this activity Maven has given a plugin. That plugin is called Ant Run plugin. So how to get this Ant Run plugin? Okay, let me go to. Okay, this is the, let me go and check how Ant Run plugin will looks like, and how the syntax and what are all the things that is associated with the plugin. Go to the Maven project. So you can find there in Maven project, if you go down, so under which you can find a ant run. So this is used to run a set of ant tasks from a pace of build. So here, if you want to get the details into the plugin, so here you go to this usage part. You have a part called as usage page. Under usage page, you can find all the needed information within the plugin. Yes. So this contains the following information. Okay, this is the default syntax that we are dealing with. So you have this. This is the GAV. The top part is GAV. Okay. So here artifact ID, version ID. The second, this is the way by which the plugin name is entered. The second part is the phase to which it is attached. Okay, so it is here. These are all the configuration informations. So here the ant task need to be placed here. You can add anything between these open and end targets. Okay, which ant task that we are going to execute using Maven, that task needs to be placed here. Okay, so here it can be any simple, it can be any ant task. Now in our example, what we are going to do? So simply we are going to exhibit something using a echo command. Okay. So here we are going to make use of echo command. This is the coding that is associated what we are going to do. So here let me take this coding. So the coding contains a GID and the goal is here you want to invoke it using this a clean face. Okay. Open a POM file. Let me copy this coding at any location. Okay. So being it is a separate plugin. So here let me have an understanding of what it is specified here. So here this is the build tag. What is the use of this build tag? If we are going to build a plugin, then it should start with the build tag. Then since this is the first plugin, the first part of the plugin contains the group ID, artifact ID and version ID. Then followed with you want to specify the configuration information. Okay. Here, what activities that we need to do need to be specified under executions. So under execution, we have the following thing. Okay. So we have a clean face. So we have a run goal. The task that we are going to do is need to be specified here. So here, when the plugin is going to be called, so after the clean phase, this plugin will be called. Okay, whenever the clean is completed, it will invoke a goal. The run will invoke the appropriate plugin. Okay, this Maven ant run plugin. What this plugin is going to do? It is going to run the echo command. So echo command is a command which is you people aware of. So here the echo. Whenever you type anything, it will display in your screen. That is the use of echo command. So here ant uses this echo command normally. Okay, so when this ant run plugin, so this is an example which is used to exhibit how to invoke an ant task within a Maven. Here we are dealing with Maven, but this echo command that we are going to now exhibit is a command associated with ant. Okay, so by using this Maven -ant run plugins, what we are going to do, we are going to embed an ant command into our Maven. Then we are going to check whether it is working or not. So this is the way by which you can go up and make use of the building. So a simple display. Okay, echo command is a simple display. So when it will be run, here we have specified the phase. Whenever you invoke Maven clean, after the successful execution of the clean phase, it will run this echo command. Let me check now. Okay, so let me check now when it will be invoked. Okay, so go to the working directory where we have POM file. Here this is your demo directory and you are having your POM file. So this is the POM file. Okay, so here the POM file that we have shown here is, it is going to run a anti command. The anti command here is echo command. So the command will be invoked whenever you use Maven clean. What happens is after the successful execution of the clean, it will move to this goal. The goal specifies that this is the task to run. To run the task, the plugin that is dependent plugin that is associated is a Maven ant run plugin. So while it encounters this echo, it will look into the plugin. The plugin, we are not going to change the plugin behavior. So we are making use of this ant plugin for our activity, for running a ant command. Echo is an ant command. It is not a Maven command. Okay. So now you find that if I invoke MEN clean, what happened here in this case? So it will first step it will build the clean step. For clean step, what it is using? It uses a default clean plugin. After that, it calls the Maven run ant plugin, what we have specified. So the Maven run ant plugin, what it will do? It will try to run the ant command. The ant command here is echo command, what we have exhibited. So into the Maven code. So whenever the clean phase is encountered, okay. Let me check with some other Maven phases also. Let me check up with this other phase. So let me do instead of clean, let me make it as a compile. So if you do compile phase, then during the compilation, what activity will do? It will start from the beginning. Okay. So here you can find whenever Maven compile has been invoked, then it will first allocate the resources by using a default plugin. Okay. So after that, it will do the compilation. Then after complete the compilation, what it will do? So the successful execution of the compilation, it will run the corresponding command, that is your anti command, with the support of this Maven ant run plugin. Okay. So this is an example of how you can make use of existing plugin in Maven in your POM. So let me check another example. Test. What happened if you invoke a test? That it will result in the three phases. So first, it will allocate the resource. And second, it will do the build. Okay, it will allocate the resources. Then it will build. During this build phase, it will first compile. After successful compilation, the test will be invoked. Okay. So when a test is invoked, here for example, in this case, if you invoke a test, what happened here is you want to come with the compile phase. Then what we have specified in our coding, in our POM file, whenever compile phase is executed, after that we have invoked the particular command. Okay, echo command is invoked. That is what that we are specifying. Therefore, it will go through the default life cycle. Then when you can find after the compile command has been executed, now you will find that this echo will be displayed. You can find. Okay. So after compile only it comes to the test phase. Since here the compile phase we have exhibited that, here you can find after compilation phase you can find this. This plugin has been called. It calls the default plugin associated with compile. First the resource has been allocated. After that it is compiled. Then after compilation, it will invoke this Maven ant plugin dot run. Then it will execute this task. It is executing the following task. Then the command that is associated with this plugin is executed successfully. After that, it will start this default test plugins, and it will get the final output. Okay. So this is the way by which we need to attach a plugin, whether it is created by us or the plugin associated with the Maven. Okay. So everything will be executed. So let me do another example. Package. What the package will do? It will do all the phases. The start from compilation. It will perform the testing, and after that it will group all the thing into the job. Whether this command will call the plugin or not. Any guess? Any guess, please? Whether this command will call the plugin or not. Shanmugam sir, Nagarika, Sri, Shiva. Anyone? You just type in chat window. Okay, it will definitely call the plugin. Okay, let me check. Also, because the package phase, it want to come to the package after the compile phase only. So after compile phase only, what we have specified in the plugin, whenever a compile phase is executed, and after the successful execution of the compile phase, okay, so this particular echo command will be executed. So this is the way by which if we have a plugin and if we have attached to the plugin to a particular phase, whenever that phase is encountered, then that plugin will be executed. Okay. So far, if we have attached this plugin to this test phase, but if we invoke Maven compile instance, then this it will first start allocating the resources, and after that itself being it is compiled, this echo command won't be invoked. When you specify instead of this compile, if you have specified the spaces test, but if you specify as compile, the compile being is the first step. What are all the steps? In this case, we have discussed the Maven test, Maven package, okay, everything. What we are doing, so all the thing will involve the particular thing. Okay, let me take another example. Okay, let me take another example. That is your example two. A simple command. How to execute instead of specifying a script. If you want to run a script, okay, to do a particular task. Here, how to run the test. Okay, for that, to run a command, so for what I am tagging is, if you want to invoke a OS command, here git ---- version is a OS command. For executing the OS command, you can make use of a plugin called as execute plugin. So this is the plugin. In the artifact ID you can find, we have called this plugin. Okay, the name of the plugin is execute. So this is the GAB, group ID, artifact ID, person ID. So what this plugin will do? This plugin, so this is the command. Okay, usually if you type in your OS prompt git ---- version, okay, this command will let you know the git version. For running a OS command, we are going to make use of the plugin. So go to Maven, specify execute Maven plugin. You can find the code associated with the plugin. Go to that. Go to the usage page. Under the usage page, you will get the structure of the plugin. Now you can find the plugin containing the following information: group ID, artifact ID. Okay. After that, where it will be invoked. So here, these are all the configuration information. Under configuration information, you want to specify the thing that is executable. Is it clear? Okay. So what do you mean by executable? The executable want to specify what you are going to invoke from your command prompt. So in the previous example, what we did, the executable, we are going to invoke either a Perl script or a git -version or any operating system command, even ls-l, Okay, those set of commands need to be specified under this executable. Okay, so in this executable, we can have a command and you can have arguments. For example, ls okay, a particular file name star dot star. Okay, so this is your argument. So for here, those arguments need to be specified here. In this case, git hyphen hyphen version. Okay, so these are all git is the command and version is your option. So you want to specify. So let me take a demonstration. The same git hyphen version. So if you want to run if you run the command git version, this is the output that you are getting. So if you want to make use of the same command, okay, you take a Java version. Okay, Java hyphen single version, Maven version, any command. Okay, this command Maven is that if you want to run, these are all the commands that we are making use of our OS prompt to run this. Okay, so if you are going to invoke a script, Perl script, first what you are doing, Perl is the name of the script. Okay, Perl is the name of the script and this is your arguments. You want to specify the script name. Okay, similarly for Python, if you are specifying a Python script, Python is executable, then the name of the script is one.py. This is your argument. Am I making sense what I am trying to do? This is the executable and one.py is the argument. How to specify the executable and how to specify the argument here, that we are going to discuss. So here in this case, Java is your executable, hyphen hyphen version is your options. Okay, so each and everything that you need to specify separately. Alright. Okay, so here git config, let me take a git config hyphen hyphen list. What it will do, it will give all the configuration information. Here in this case, git is your executable, configuration is the first argument, hyphen hyphen list is the second argument. So you want to pass it separately. Okay, the executable and the associated arguments need to be passed separately under your pom.xml file. Okay, so git is your exe, config and hyphen hyphen list is the argument. Let me check how to do this. Go to your example, let me copy and paste it in our existing. Okay, yeah, within that plugins you can add the new plugin. As we already told, plugins is the mother tag. Now you can add any number of plugins. Now we have added this plugin. Which plugin? The plugin that we are going to exhibit now is how the execute plugin, execute hyphen maven hyphen plugin, using which we are going to invoke a particular executable. Okay, so under executable you find that we have two options. One is first the executable, that is the command. In this case, git hyphen hyphen version. So here, this is your executable. This is your version. The version needs to be specified under your argument. You please make a note. First thing, GAV. Next, you want to specify the configuration. Okay, this contains the detail on how to invoke this executable along with the particular arguments. Okay, so here for running this executable along with the argument, you need this execute plugin. The execute plugin is come as a built-in plugin in the Maven. Okay, so if you have multiple arguments, you need to specify with another argument tag. Okay, in our config hyphen hyphen list, what we have first argument is git hyphen config. In our first example, git config hyphen hyphen list. You want to specify using two arguments. Let me check first this one. Git hyphen version, how it will look, what command, what output that it will provide. Okay, so if you make a comparison with the previous plugin, this is the plugin, okay, which involves Maven and run plugin, which displays the echo command, and the plugin, the currently the second plugin that we have specified here. Can you able to identify the difference between these two plugins, plugin 1 and plugin 2? This is one plugin, this is another plugin. Can you specify? So we have discussed two things. What is the plugin? When to invoke the plugin? What plugin to do? Okay, we have already specified. We were defining a plugin. We want to specify the following three values. Okay, what is the plugin? When to invoke the plugin? And what the plugin needs to do. Okay, here what we have did. That is when to invoke means when to use. Here what is the plugin is specified. What the plugin need to do, here that is specified under executable. Whether we have specified when to invoke the plugin here, please look into that. Here in our previous page, we have specified that what is the when to use the plugin, what is the plugin, and what exactly the plugin has to do. Here the thing is what is the plugin and what exactly plugin has to is mandatory. This thing when to use the plugin is optional, that we have initially discussed. In some cases we need to specify when to use the plugin. In some cases there is no need. Okay, so here in this page we have specified that the plugin is attached with a compile phase. So whenever you encounter the compile phase, the plugin will be run. Whereas now by using this execute phase, we have not attached anything. It is not going to be attached with any Maven's life cycle. Okay, so here in certain cases, we no need to call the default life cycle of your plugins. We can directly call the plugins. In this example, we can directly call the plugin, execute Maven plugin to execute a particular operating system command. So this is the way by which example will let you know what is mandatory and what is optional. Here this echo command will be run whenever you encounter the following phase, compile phase. Okay, in this step we have specified the three options. Whereas in the second example we have specified only option 1 and 3. Yes? Please go through it. Yes, is it clear? So without invoking any life cycle, okay, here in this case we are attached the plugin to compile phase. Only after the compile phase has been completed, this plugin will be called. Yes, this is the thing that we did. Here, if in certain cases, if this plugin, the echo command, the associated with the plugin, okay, want to run directly without association with any default phases, what do you need to do? Okay, if you want to invoke the particular plugin and do the associated task without attaching to a particular default life cycle, then here you can do it using the following example. Yes. So here in this case, the plugin will run the following task. Git hyphen version is the task. The plugin is execute hyphen maven hyphen plugin. Whether I have attached to any phase or not, please let me know. No. So here in the above set example, after the completing the compile, it will start the run goal. The run goal what will do? It will invoke this Maven and run plugin. With the help of the plugin, the echo will be specified. Here, we have not specified a phase or goal here. Simply, we define the plugin and the executable. What the plugin needs to do has been defined. Okay, you can look into the executable plugin. For every plugin, there is a default goal that will be associated. Okay, by using the default goal, we can directly invoke the plugin without associating with the Maven's default lifecycle phase. Let me check it. Let me open the execute. What it specifies? If you want to run a Java command, then simply call execute Java, the second thing. Okay, within that Maven project, if you want to run any Java command, you make use of it. Okay, here the goal specified is, first thing, execute is the goal. It is not any default goal of Maven. We have already discussed about this Maven default goal. It is not associated with any default goal of Maven. So you can find here what it will do. It will simply execute this execute hyphen Maven, and it will run this command. Without attaching to any Maven phase, we can directly run the command. Okay, git hyphen version. If you want to know what is the default goal of the plugin, here this is you want to refer into that. For example, for our previous thing, ant, okay, it our Apache enter map, and you find that the goal is run, ant run. Okay, so the thing that I want to make you convey is, for each and every plugin there is a default goal. Let me check here. Okay, let me execute this. Maven execute is the command, and execute is the default goal. So when what this command will do, whenever you execute, invoke this command, the plugin will be called, and the thing that is associated, what we have specified, git hyphen version. Okay, the git hyphen version command has been called, and the output has been given. You can find. So in Maven, what we have discussed is there are two ways to invoke a plugin. One, you want to attach a plugin to any one of the default phase, Maven's lifecycle phase. In this case, we have attached to the compile phase. The second option, if you want to directly call the plugin, so without attaching to any one of these Maven lifecycle, okay, what you need to do, you want to specify the plugin name and the associated goals. You want to know the goal, and the executable that is specified will be executed. Now I think so. It is very clear for you what is a plugin and what are all the things that is associated, how to invoke a plugin, whether by attaching with this lifecycle phase of Maven, or by attaching with without the lifecycle phase, whether you can able to directly call your plugins. Okay, these are all the ways by which you need to invoke a plugin. How to use and where to use, how to invoke. Okay, is it clear for you? Am I making sense with what we have discussed so far? Please, I need to get a response. I had shared you all the previous class recordings. Okay, for first 4 classes. So please go through that. Okay, before coming for the next class. We will be having our classes on coming Saturday and Sunday. What we have not conducted, okay, in Monday, Tuesday. Yes, we will be working with several scenarios. We are going to work with several scenarios that we will discuss in the coming classes. Tomorrow we will be having the class at the same time. Let we discuss in our tomorrow's class. So Saturday and Sunday we have class. Please remember the same time morning 6:45 we will be having our class. Okay. So kindly go through that what we have discussed and try to execute. If you get stuck with any issue, please let me know. I will come for your assistance. Thanks Nagiriya. Thanks Samunaran sir. Sri Siva. Samunaran sir, I am going to start a batch for Apache Spark from coming Saturday, Sunday. You please kindly convey to a full batch company Apache Python, Apache Spark. You call me over phone, I will let you know the remaining thing. Complete entire thing along with several use cases, and we will be dealing with some distributions also. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye. We meet again tomorrow. You please go through what I had shared to you.